Good morning, Magic. I'm Gavin Verhey from Wizards of the Coast, and today I have on a very special guest, David McDarby. Welcome to the show, David.
Hi, Gavin. Happy to be here.
Why don't you talk about what you did before Wizards, your experience with Magic, and also what you do now?
Oh, sure. I discovered Magic about 12 years ago. Since then, I've cosplayed, played in professional tournaments, judged, commentated, dealt with all kinds of things. I created Commander Versus. A lot of people like that show. And for the past 5.5 years, time is relative nowadays, I've been at Wizards of the Coast making sweet Magic cards and facilitating awesome Magic play.
Wow, that's quite a bit. Do you have any favorite cards that you've made?
My first card was Fevered Visions. It's a blue-red card. It's kind of my wheelhouse. I like that one a whole lot. Also Pramicon, it's a Jeskai commander from C19. I was in set design with Glenn Jones.
So right now we're wrapping up Zendikar Rising preview season, so we can finally talk about all the cards we got to make. David, what were some of the cards in Zendikar Rising that you had a hand in?
I like talking about this part, Gavin. I made a couple of mythics. I made Lithoform Engine because I love copying things in every way in Magic. Copy is just great. So I made that artifact. Go forth and copy, young wizards. I also made Leyline Tyrant because dragons are just the best creature type. I wish we were dragons of the coast, but alas. And I like big, splashy plays with lots of mana, so hope you have fun casting that guy and doming your opponents.
Well, and speaking of big, splashy plays with lots of mana, we've got a special cube today. As you might know, Magic Online does special guest cubes from time to time, and David's is the brand new featured one. David, what is different about this cube? What's going on here?
My cube is called the Live the Dream Cube. As you might know, I enjoy Commander, so I wanted to bring that experience to Limited, to a cube environment. So we're talking lots of gold cards, lots of crazy engine build-around cards that you might not see in other formats, and tons of synergies and crazy combos that you can only experience when playing Commander or the Live the Dream Cube. This is kind of a slower cube than normal, but not quite as slow as a Commander game, and gives people enough time to get their crazy engines online and try to do wacky combos that you've probably never heard of before.
And while it does feel like Commander in some ways, it's still 20 life, it's still no Commander, stuff like that, right, David?
Yep. Again, not as fast as most cubes, but you got 20 life, you got to work with it. 40 cards, and just try to make the sweetest plays and combination of cards you can.
Now, are there archetypes in this cube, or are there things I should be expecting to draft?
So there are 11 total limited archetypes that you can draft. In addition to that, there are many 1 and 2 card little mini archetypes such as Sunforger and stuff that you can plan to see.
Well, we've got some pick one, pack ones here, and I thought that would be pretty fun as a little activity. We're going to walk down 3 of them and see what we would pick in every situation. So up first, pack number 1. So if I was looking at this as a normal cube, David, I might take the Taiga. Of course, the dual land is always a pretty safe way to go. I might look at Birthing Pod or something like that. But wow, I know this is a little different cube, and there's all kinds of fun stuff to be done here. You've also got the Sweeper and Blasphemous Act. It's hard to say no to a Sweeper. Man, so many good options. I think I'm going to settle on the Blasphemous Act as a board sweeper, but I really have no idea. What would you recommend?
It's funny you say that about Blasphemous Act, Gavin, because not only is it a sweeper, but it's also a win condition when combined with cards such as Boris Reckoner, Spite-Mare, and Stuffy Doll. We play Magic to have fun and tell stories, and that's what this cube's all about. Birthing Pod is an excellent choice. There's also Prime Speaker Vanifar to go with Birthing Pod to try to find various creatures. You can live the dream with Fibblethip, the Loss. There's a Live the Dream combo with basically every card in the cube. Extinction Event is another sweeper that you can maneuver around and just turn your Wrath into a Plague Wind. Blasphemous Act does 13 damage, but maybe with Fiery Emancipation, you do 39 damage. I designed Fiery Emancipation, so of course that had to get in here. There's also Reese the Redeemed. As you might see, there's a couple token-making cards going in here. Green-White is the big populate strategy, so I had to find ways to copy existing creatures so your populate cards really sing. I think I would think about taking Mythos of Aluna. It is a copy spell, and it also can be a removal spell, designed by my friend Tony Mayer. But the most important thing about Mythos of Aluna is also a secret ramp spell for the blue-red strategy that likes to go big. I like blue, and it's got a red tip there, so it's singing my song.
Well, that just goes to show the wide variety in this cube. I mean, there's a ton of options in this pack, and not necessarily the things you would think about. All right, David, let's move on to pack number 2. Ooh, so many options here. Well, looking at this list, I'm starting to get the idea of living the dream. There's the Spite-Mare you mentioned, which would combo with that Blasphemous Act, by the way, if I got past this pack afterward. Golos is, of course, an extremely powerful creature, shows up a lot in Commander, and that's a dream I could certainly see myself living, so that's pretty exciting. Spider Spawning, one of my favorite Innistrad block cards to build around. Maybe I could do that again here. Coalition Victory? Is that even possible? I kind of want to do it, maybe? This is a toughie. I think I would take the Golos, though. I just know it's always going to make my deck. And if I can go 5 color with it, it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun.
For sure. Five-color Dream is one of the main archetypes. You see two of the cards here. Like you said, a Coalition Victory just says win the game. And that's a card that you can't play in Commander, and you probably shouldn't play in Limited. Ikoria gave Coalition Victory a big boost because of the basic land types being on your tri-lands really can help you win with that. You mentioned Spymare comboing with Blasphemous Act, but you never mentioned Swans of Bryn Argol, because that can also combo with Blasphemous Act to draw your deck. Yep, the very first card I put in this cube was, in fact, Spider Sonic spawning, because I also loved Innistrad Limited growing up as a youngling, and a lot of other people love that archetype, so I made sure Green-Black was the Critters in the Yard strategy. You did pick Golos, which is a ramp spell. Rakdos Cygnus is also a ramp spell, but Marauding Raptor is a ramp spell that you don't think is very popular. There are a couple other dinosaurs in the cube, but this one can kill your opponent, and as you can see here, it also works well with Swans of Bryn Argol and Spitmare. I think I would take Sublime Epiphany, but Sublime Epiphany can be a 6-for-1, I believe, when you play your cards right, and who's to say no to that kind of value?
I'm seeing a theme of taking the blue cards, David. That sounds like a strong strategy.
It sure is. I worked very hard to make sure the other four colors could play just as hard as blue could, but Sublime Epiphany, I don't really like passing that card.
Okay, now let's go on to our third and final pack. Let's put it on up. Well, it's hard for me to say no to a Cruel Ultimatum. I'll say that right off the bat. That card is very appealing to me. I could be boring and take a land. Sometimes that happens. But also, Yuriko the Tiger Shadow is a card I have a very strong affinity for, given that I designed her. So I kind of wonder if I'd take that, if I could go into some kind of awesome ninja-style strategy, or flip a gigantic 10-plus mana cost card. That sounds like a lot of fun. But I think if I'm going to try and live my own dream, and after 3 packs, I am ready to start living my dreams. I'm done taking lands. It's time to live some dreams. I'm going to snag that Cruel Ultimatum. I just love that card too much.
I cannot argue with Cruel Ultimatum. Again, that was one of my cards growing up that I love to cast. And you see right next to it is Omnispell Adept. And a lot of times you'll play the ultimatums in this format with only blue and red, because blue and red is cast big spells. And you don't need mana fixing when you cast spells without paying their mana cost. Yuriko can be a lot of fun in this cube, as there are a few ninjas to go with her. Ninja pose. But the cube is built around blue-black is ninjutsu versus play your opponent's cards. Crystalline Crawler is a ramp spell that is a 4-mana ramp spell to ramp into 9 mana on turn 5. That's pretty strong. But there's a couple other synergies in this cube. Azra Oddsmaker looks pretty unassuming. It's from Battlebond, so I know you love it. But the Bone Miser in the last pack really lets you live the dream of discarding your creatures, reanimating them, and just kind of making Rakdos discard matter. There's also a combo in this very pack that I really would want to play, and that's Precursor Golem and Fist of Flame. I don't even want to think about how much damage that is, but I do know you draw 3 cards, and I'm definitely behind that. But I think my favorite card to draft in here, other than Cruel Ultimatum, because you've already taken it, Gavin, would be Unbound Flourishing. This is the rare green card that wants you to play instant and sorceries, and there just happens to be an instant or sorcery right below it with X in the mana cost that's quite dream living right there, if I say so myself.
Well, this is awesome, David. I actually have not had the chance to play it yet. I've just looked at these pick one pack ones. When can I go and play it?
You can actually play it right now, Gavin, on Magic Online. Log in, go to the limited play lobby, and you can start jamming these games and living your own dreams. But if you'd like to check out all 11 archetypes, including with the philosophy of how I came up with this crazy contraption, you can check out my article that went up online on mitgo.com on Monday, or click on the link in the description below.
So, David, I know this was mostly your brainchild. You put a ton of effort into this. Who else did you work with on it?
I had lots of people help with playtesting and opinions on the cube, but the number one source of help was David White. He was a friend who helped introduce me to a format known as EDH back in Knoxville, Tennessee, when I first started playing Magic, and he was instrumental in helping me rein in some of the crazy machinations I had with the cube and make sure this was a playable format for tons of people other than just myself.
So definitely go and play, and also let David know what you think. He put a lot of love and care into this cube, so hit him up on social media. I'm sure he would love to hear your thoughts.
If you ever enjoyed me on Commander Versus, or any of the other crazy Magic shenanigans I've been in for a while, you can actually watch me stream this cube on twitch.tv/Lanuka. I'll be playing it all week, and help me figure out how to not lose to other people in my own cube. And also, to anybody who ever enjoyed me making Commander Versus, or limited environments, or cards I made, or decks I've played, or tournaments I've been in, thank you for enjoying those pieces of content and for playing Magic, because playing and making Magic is one of my dreams that I've been living, and I hope playing this cube or any other kind of Magic that you're playing nowadays can help you live the dream in your own way in these times. So thank you.
Seriously, David, I could not agree more, and thank you for all your help, not only designing sets, but making this awesome cube too. I cannot wait to see how it plays out. I will talk to you on Friday, and in the meantime, may you live all your dreams. You got this.
Players haven't had as much of a chance to play Mystery Booster as I think everybody would like, so we're going to bring a version to Magic Online.
That is huge. I mean, obviously, I'm a huge Mystery Booster fan. Everyone knows that. That is super cool. I can't wait to draft a bunch of Mystery Booster.
We're also working to, because again of the state of everything, we're working